Dang, he took off before I could start recording. Oh my god, he's gone. Holy crap! He was going 45, 50 mile an hour. That's not full throttle. Yeah.
That way it'll actually stop with the pedal.
That thing is scooting. Well, the e-brake works, the pedal don't work as good. It's probably got to do with pedal leverage.
Definitely needs a pulse pump.
Yeah. Well, the tank is too low for the fuel line route. Yeah, that tank is just too low and it's putting the fuel going uphill, and I'm just really not getting enough fuel pressure into that engine. He's gonna so want to build his kart after this. Wow. She runs good, she's just a little fuel starved. That and that clutch is just crappy. It's a cheap clutch. No, he was down there spinning, never mind. Yeah, I'm just looking for a comfortable spot to sit at this point. But we really need to put a pulse pump on that thing. Alright, so it needs a pulse pump and a stronger clutch. That clutch is rated for 12 horsepower and we just about cooked it.
I think I broke it.
That shouldn't be there. Yeah, I think whoever built this engine,
That should be there.
didn't torque the rod down right, and out of stupidity, I really should have checked that. But I think they over torqued the rod bolts and the rod bolt
Because
staff.
if you look right there through that,
I mean, there's no damage to the crank. I mean, the rod is completely.
if you look through the maintenance port,
me turn this light on here.
There's a little scoring. But if you look through the maintenance port,
there's no scoring on that crank.
No deep gouges.
No.
I think we can save it.
Well, actually, I could weld a plate over that and put a new rod in it. Because I've got a rod. I've actually got a spare rod, but yeah, apparently they didn't crank or torque the rod bearings right. They over torqued them and the rod bearings snapped and it put the rod through the block. But that was about 50 miles an hour because yeah, he finally started getting some decent fuel pressure. And sorry we don't have it on video, but yeah, he started getting some good pressure, and he started getting up to about 6,500, 7,000 RPMs, and it just, yeah, it let go. So, all right, we're gonna get us another engine tomorrow, and we're gonna build another engine real quick for this thing, because I'm not trading it off with a bad engine, and I'm pulling the engine apart and checking all the torque specs and doing the head and the valve springs and everything. But that's why we just call him Brad.
Because of me, we can't have nice things.
Yeah, because of Brad, we cannot have nothing nice. Because when it starts opening up, Brad hammers it harder.
I throttled her until she kept up with the pull.
And then I just let her have it.
I have never thrown a rod through a block on any engine I've built.
I
And
ran through dog shit. Pardon my language.
yeah, well, I've never thrown a rod through a block.
She was eating.
Brad does.
She was eating. Like, she was eating.
You were going what, 50-ish?
Oh, dude, I was probably 40, 45 and still pulling, and it just, and said, no, you're not, you're done.
Yeah. So we're going to build another engine for this week, so that the plan will still go into effect thanks to Brad this Friday.
We might be installing it when we get there, but it'll be there.
It'll be installed. Yeah.
I'm kind of sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm kind of sorry.
No, it's really
I
cool.
want to ride it some more.
It's hilarious. Oh, it's fast, isn't it?
Yeah.
That thing is, I mean, this thing's fast.
Let's break out the wrenches and pull the motor off Lucy and slam it right here.
No, because you'll blow it up too.
But it would be so fun.
And I've got about 20 minutes before I go to get to work.
I wish the low oil sensor would have still been there so I could have watched it eject. Because it would have probably...
Oh, the low oil sensor would have detonated and exploded through the side of the block.
No, I'm talking about this.
Oh, yeah.
It might have...
Well...
No, I don't think it would have.
But it won't take me very long to, you know, slam together another engine.
So next on Hillbilly Holler, we autopsy a Predator.
Yeah, we're going to definitely find out what happened. Because that rod should not have come apart
that easy.
At that low of an RPM, because we really did not hit.
No, she wasn't wanting.
I mean, we hit like what, 5,500 RPM?
Maybe it was starting.
Maybe 5,000 RPM.
I might have got close to 5. She was too. Once she got up there, she was starving for fuel. So I know it didn't get real high. And honestly, starving for fuel could have been part of it too. She could have come up and hit that lick where she just didn't have as much and the fucking crank speed just...
Yeah, and that was a high compression engine. But
the crank speed...
Go ahead and pull it over. We'll see how much compression it's got now.
Well, the crank speed coming around just snapped that rod cap off the end of it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of compression now, yeah. No. Oh, yeah, it's running now.
I can't even hit the secondary pull. Look at it.
Yeah, let me jump on it. Let me jump on it, see if we can go about 2 inches. That is just, yeah.
It's funny and sad, and I feel bad.
It's hilarious, dude. It's my money. I don't care.
I feel bad because
I don't care. I don't care
because you ain't able to ride it.
I don't care. Even if I could ride it, I wouldn't care. You know me. I don't give a darn about this kind of stuff.
Awesome.
But yeah, we're gonna build another engine. I'm gonna check the rod this time.
If we can find it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
But this is what we do. I mean, we build carts, and you know, whenever the engines fail or something like that, we just redo it. Who cares? It's just part of it, you know.
It's a $100 engine.
But that was an engine failure. That's not a mechanical failure. That's not a build failure. That's a failure on.
Because the rod never came off of it.
Yeah, that's a failure on the original assembly of the engine, is what that is.
Yeah, because that rod, we never took the rod out.
No, I never pulled the rod. I pulled the cover, pulled the head, and valves, valve springs. I did all that.
Holy cow! Dude.
And yeah.
God, that fucking block just said.
Yeah, I just puked its guts out. But we'll just go buy us another engine, throw it on there, or I'll pull one off the shelf and we'll build it. Ain't no big deal.
Do it again.
But we'll have it done by Friday. Anyway, that's the cause of all of our mechanical issues.
Can't help it, man. I got a heavy foot and I like to go fast.
I do too. If I had something that I could put my butt in without rolling it.
I was going fast.
Yeah, you were.
And then I was not going anymore.
All right, well.
It still had enough pull. I rolled, like, once it popped, I was going fast enough. I still rolled 50 yards and turned it around and rolled back 10.
Yeah. So he actually went 60, 70 yards after the engine blew. That's how fast he was going.
That's with a whip turn.
That's with
to keep it fucking
bootleg turn. So
get it coming back.
That's all right. We'll build another one. Anyway, we'll see y'all later. We're gonna load this thing up and I'll doctor it up.
I don't want to pour blood out.
That pretty much says it all.
Well,
but that rod issue has got to be a build defect. I think they, from what I've seen on the crank and everything and what I know about engines, and I've never ever thrown a rod through a block. Brad has, but I've never thrown a rod through a block, and I'd have to say that they way over torque the rod bolts.
Yeah.
And I'd say we probably hit about 4,500 RPMs, which is not much more than what a stock engine would do. And the rod cap was already cracked.
Something had to be.
And it just let go.
Well, that's the second Hemi I've blown. I'm now...
Y'all don't need to be letting Brad ride your shit.
Let me see here. I am now... Well, I didn't technically own this engine, so I'm it's technically 2 for 4, but... Or 2 out of 4.
Yeah, 2 out of 4 Predators. That man right there is blown up.
But at the same time, I technically don't own this one, so I'm going to keep my record at 1 and 3.
No. No. If I own it, you own it. That's your fault, totally.
This is by proxy. He killed
2 for 2.
He killed it.
I did not kill it. I built it.
It was by proxy.
And I never drove it. You blew it.
It's by proxy.
No. No, this is blown by association. That's by association right there.
I guess I might say guilty.
Yeah, that's why he's just Brad. Because there's no other explanation for Brad.
I didn't mean to break it. We were having fun. Apparently I was having more fun than the cart was, but...
Yeah, well, we're going to buy another engine, slam it on here, it'll be good.
Oh yeah, it'll be alright.
Yeah, I'll build another engine for it real quick, and whenever I do it, I'm going to check the rod.
And who's to say this motherfucker might blow all kinds of motors on it before it's done?
It might.
Before this car goes out to pasture.
Yeah. It might need a 2-stroke on it. Who knows?
I can tell you this.
It's fast.
Should have had a pulse pump under it.
It's fast. It's fast start for fuel.
I'd have probably blowed the rod at a much faster speed.
Yeah.
Which she was pulling then. Like it was still going.
Hey, it was fast start for fuel.
I'm pretty sure I was well on my way to 60 miles an hour. And the only reason I say 60 is I'd have ran out of road before I hit the brakes.
Whew.
But
it was quick.
I would have tried that curve down there. She was sticking with me. You seen when I come through.
Oh, it's sticking hard, man. With those 11 wide tires all the way around, it was sticking hard.
But she did not like grass.
Yeah, but
tried to turn right on grass, and
I mean, you could see the striations on the front tires, where
that center line,
where you see here where he started turning, and it was dragging the front tires sideways before they caught.
Oh,
there's some striations on that.
They were catching.
Yeah, well, they were skipping just slightly.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, they were grabbing hard.
See how fast I was slinging into the turn up here?
God, you were doing donuts up there.
Well, I was whipping it around.
Well, bootleg turns.
Yeah, turn back. But coming through right here, there's a little less turn. And as you come off that first turn, it dips down and goes right. And then you swing back left. And, I mean, it was...
Well, you see right there where the power pole is? I don't know if it showed up on video, but when you hit right there, you were completely airborne.
Was it?
It was completely all 4 tires off the ground when you got there.
There's a dip in the road.
Yeah, there was a dip, and
You
when
don't
you hit
feel
that
it.
dip, you were airborne.
You don't feel it. But I'll tell you this though, that seat hurts off-road.
Yeah.
My first trail around through there, I went flying on that backside and forgot how rough it was. Just and I mean, all you could do is
You just couldn't get up to speed off-road. I mean, it was too quick, and there wasn't no
it
suspension.
was building it was building speed right through there. But I was like, screw this. That's when I bumped up on the road and came out. So.
But I'll have to see if it turns up on video, and I'll be posting it this afternoon or tonight. But totally, when you got to that point right there, you were completely airborne.
That needs to be a thumbnail.
You were completely airborne.
It'll run. Well,
not anymore.
It was running.
It was running good.
I definitely fucked that clutch though.
Yeah, that clutch is all right.
No. Dude, that some bitch is white.
So?
It's white.
I'm white too, but does that mean I'm a bad person?
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, that's true.
You gotta remember what day and age it is, my friend.
All right, well, I got to go buy another engine, y'all. We'll see y'all later, and if y'all want your karts and go-karts and mini bikes and motorcycles to last, don't let Brad ride it. We'll see y'all later.
Or just tell me. Hey,
Tell him half throttle.
Be nice. No, tell me be nice.
Well, it is kind of my fault because I just told you to just tear it up.
If you refer back to the Earth Dog update video, when I come around after we got the belt and got a torque converter on it that would hold together, and Chester goes, "Rip it." I said, "No, I gotta be nice." I'm telling you, tell me when I sit down on it before it's fired up, you say be nice. It'll come back in one piece.
Mostly.
No, it'll come back in one piece. Now, if you tell me to get on it, tell me to give it hell, I hold no responsibility for the outcome of said giving of hell. So.
Yeah. But I told you to give it hell. But then again, I also knew it was fuel starved, and
well, yeah.
That's honestly, that's a manufacturer failure there.
I mean,
that's totally a manufacturer failure.
And if it turns out that it wasn't, I mean,
well, I can tell you.
Then we need to figure out where we went wrong.
Well, if you snap the rod, it'd be different. But the rod cap snapped, and the rod's completely disconnected from the crank.
Like,
that's a manufacturer failure.
Swinging from the wrist pin of the piston.
No, the bearing housing is completely gone off that crank. That's a manufacturer failure.
The rod cap had to have blown off. The crank spun around, smacked the end of the rod into the block, and when it did, it had to have busted it off. Because when it happened, she was actually starting to pull fuel like she wasn't starving.
Yeah, and we never had a rod knock or nothing. I never heard nothing other than ring and then duh, like he killed hit the kill switch.
I feathered the throttle to get her to start pulling a vacuum to get it to get good suction up through there. So it would at least pull the line full and kind of keep her from fuel starving, so I could get the best run as I could up to that curve up there. And I mean, I cut back in it a little bit, and I was probably 3/4 throttle maybe.
Yeah, running
and I just
45, 50 mile an hour.
I pushed a little more, she started pulling, and then just all you heard, no rod knock, like it didn't fuel starve at that point, nothing. It was just wah, wah,
and then it just died.
And it was silent.
Yeah.
No clanking of the crankshaft spinning around. I mean, it didn't dead wall stop. Cause I mean, you can see when we pull the rope. There's nothing. I mean, you hear nothing.
There's nothing swinging.
There's nothing swinging.
There's nothing connected to that crankshaft.
There's nothing connected to the crank or hanging out of the piston.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look up through the.
There's nothing hanging.
2.5-inch hole. I mean, there's the piece of the block, and that's the only piece actually that I could break out of there.
I ain't worried about it.
I mean, it did not throw chunks.
You know how many of these daggum engines I build?
Nothing flew out of the hole. I mean, it was just straight, like something punched the inside of the block.
I'm excited the cart handled like it did.
If these were narrowed up a little, and we could get it to where when you turn right, that wheel stays down, just for off-road, I could drift shit out of this in grass.
Yeah, well, you were drifting the shit out of it on the road.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It pulled hard.
Oh, it did.
Even with a cheap clutch on it, I mean, that pulled hard.
I couldn't imagine what it'd do with a good torque converter.
Torque converter, hell, manual clutch.
Well, that
throw a manual on there and let me do a stroker out of it.
Hell, a good torque converter with the gear.
But needless to say, I mean, you know, the frame, seat, wheels, spindles, all that. I mean, it's still $1,000 setup without that engine. But I'm gonna throw an engine on that thing and get it running again before I trade it off.
A lot of people know and understand. A lot of people don't get it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get it, but honestly,
expensive.
that daggum engine is just manufacturer failure. I mean, that's just a flawed engine to do that at that low RPM.
But yeah, the parts for these carts, the small stuff like wheel hubs, you know, bearing stuff like that, they're not.
That seat's $100.
Yeah, by themselves, they're not. You know, they're not that bad.
That's a $70 steering wheel.
When you start putting them all together, like to finish my cart.
There's $100 in brakes.
To finish my cart, with the exception of tie rods on the BMI order I've got sitting on standby, I'm looking at $180.
Yeah.
Just for the parts.
And that's with donated parts going to it too.
And I still
ain't got no engine.
Well, and after that, I still got to get tie rods, a seat,
Yeah.
tie rods, a seat, and the brake kit. The brake kit for mine, because I've, you know, it has to go a specific way on my cart. I've already played with a pit bike brake and everything. It has to be a specific brake made for it. It's got
to be that $350 brake setup.
$289.
Mm.
But once it's there and it's bled, not only will it look like it's supposed to, you lock them down and it's going to whip the ass in around.
The reason why I did that brake setup on mine is because I had to order the master cylinder and the brake caliper and everything from Europe.
Plus, he's a bigger,
to get it.
Yeah, being his is metric, mine's the American standard. But being also that he's a bigger dude, he has to have a brake of that size.
Yeah.
The one for my car, the pads are a little smaller, but
that's a 600 cc ATV brake is what that is.
And I mean, it'll stop you. You hit the pedal, it brings you down slow so you can swing into your turns. You hit the pedal and then pull the rod, and she'll come to a stop.
Yeah, you hit that rod right there, it locks up. You see the weeds on that?
Yeah, I may have drove her off into the field.
Yeah, he went to make that turn up there and hammered it whenever he did the turn, and it put him off in the woods.
She don't like turning right under power. She lifted this left wheel off the ground. This one kind of dug in, and it just straight off in there like it was.
Yeah, he went off in the bushes in the cart.
Like it was on the back tires.
That was about 2 minutes before he detonated the engine.
Yeah.
But congratulations, Brad. You've detonated one of my engines.
First Brad. Well, second Brad that I've...
Second.
First one that I've catastrophically...
But, I mean, the first one was kind of a failure because you just burnt rings.
Yeah.
And we could have rebuilt that. But the rod through the block, that's awesome.
Yeah, that...
I think that's freaking hilarious.
I could fix it. I'd put a new rod on it. Just run it with the fucking hole.
No, because I could actually fix that. I could put a billet rod on that.
Oh, yeah.
And polish the crank. And then solder me an aluminum patch over that hole in the block and it'd be good.
Yeah, it wouldn't take much, really. But before the engine comes off Lucy and goes on my race car, definitely gonna have to go billet rod.
Yeah, you're going billet. We're going billet. If I had to buy you billet, we're going billet because of Brad.
That and there's a lot of work into these engines.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of work. But anyway, brother, I got to get out of here. We'll see y'all later. And we're going to be building another engine.
And remember, if you let me ride your car, tell me before you fire it up. Be nice.
Yeah.